History beckons for Mayo today as they seek 3 Connacht titles in a row. First and second choice goalkeepers are out injured, so Rob Henley gets the dramatic call-up. Chris Barrett will start at corner back, with Keith Higgins moving to centre back. Up front, Darren Cohen is named at top of the left, while Andy Moran is in the starting 15 for the first time since the championship last year. This is the London team that has already made a bit of history, but led by captain Seamus Hannon, hope to go one step further and win their very first provincial title. Keelan Doyle and Paul Geraghty are a strong centre field, while Damien Dunleavy and Lorcan Mulvey in attack will have to dominate to give the Exiles any chance of an upset. Kick out by Rob Henley. Superbly gathered by Kevin McLaughlin, and the space is opening up in front of him, but the passing side to Andy Moran went a little bit too far, went for his Alan Freeman. Andy Moran is surrounded, and London bring the ball back. Shane Mulligan, pass across field was not a good one. Comes for his left half forward Richie Feeney, and that is over the crossbar and between the posts. Good pressure by Mayo. London did all the hard work, but for all their grafting, they lost possession rather easily. Gahan is available, former Mayo minor footballer, from a place called Duhoma, near Kiltane. Ball is spilt away from Shane Mulligan. Alan Freeman, jinks left, jinks right. Oh, that is beautiful. The skill of Alan Freeman. Mulligan loses possession, jinking right then left. What about that for coolness from Alan Freeman? Wonderful skill by the full forward. Easy. This is Owen O'Neill. Look where the fullback is, Stephen Curran. Coming through the middle, good running, Gregory Crowley. Can he get inside the cover of Colin Boyle? Still Crowley. Back outside for his Damien Dunleavy, and that is curling, and it just about got there. Good score for Damien Dunleavy for his first point in the Connacht Championship of 2013. Just need to keep their focus. Ball into the centre towards Richie Feeney. Overlap provided by Kevin McLaughlin, and that's very impressive play by Mayo. And they're dazzling this London defence at the moment. Under pressure from Alan Freeman. Dunleavy still in there. Alan Freeman comes away with it. Alan Dillon is inside if he needs him. Lays it off for Feeney. Inside the large rectangle, there's a chance here for Darren Cohen! What about that for a spectacular goal? Wonderful build-up by Mayo. They had confidence in their own short passing game, and the finish when it arrived was like a rocket. Declan Traynor did not see this zoom past him. Seamus Hannon does well. That's a free for the Longford native. Lorcan Mulvey going for his 4th point of the match. Takes it with ease. Kevin McLaughlin, good running off his left shoulder by Chris Barrett. Coming through the centre is Lee Keegan, and Keegan goes for his 2nd point of the match. Chris Barrett going forward, being pursued by Owen O'Neill. Good play by Barrett. Richie Feeney fires Aidan O'Shea. They're queuing up on the right. He's still Aidan O'Shea. He lays it off. Goal for Mayo. Wonderful play by a Mayo team that's on fire. Aidan O'Shea weaving his way through. Ends up with Killian O'Connor. And just a little touch by one of the best footballers in the country. Colin Boyle gives the ball away to Colin Daly. There's a chance here for London. Hefty shoulder by Rob Henley. It's there again for McGee. Cleared off the line by the Mayo keeper. It's a hefty shoulder on McGee. Just a touch there. Keegan Liz up to Andy Moore, and here's Cillian O'Connor! Goal number 2. Welcome back to the Championship 2013, Cillian O'Connor. Cillian O'Connor certainly doesn't miss from that distance. Great move, great finish. Away goes Connacht. Right corner back, still going Tom Connacht, brought down. Surely that's a penalty, and it is. What a wonderful run by the right corner back. Cillian O'Connor from Ballintubber. He's already scored 2 goals and a point. This for the hat-trick. Considering he picked up a shoulder injury and is only coming in for this Connacht final, it's a brilliant reintroduction to the championship. Into the bottom, the left-hand corner. 18 wides for Mayo in this Connacht final. Going forward is Lorcan Mulvey. Colin McGee is to his right. Mulvey went for the goal, and he wasn't very far away. 7 points for Mulvey this afternoon. That's good play. Cillian O'Connor again, and there's nobody home. And London survived that particular attack, but they don't survive the challenge provided by Mayo. The 3 in a row has been achieved in the province of Connacht. Full-time score, Mayo 5-11, London 10 points.
3 in a row, 3 Connacht titles. You know, players are obviously happy with that. It's a bit of silverware, so happy with that, yeah.
It's their lads' first Connacht final. The occasion was a big occasion, no matter how you speak about it. And Mayo are a very good team, and they did their job very well. But we never gave in. We kept going and fought hard to the finish. But just on the day, yeah, we could play better. But I'm still proud of the lads.
The chances were fairly straightforward. They were putting it played by a lot of great work by the boys further back the field. So I suppose credit goes to the rest of the boys really. But thankfully the bounce of the ball went my way today, so I'm not complaining.
Today our performance was below what we were trying to achieve. I suppose our shooting and our decisions on what shots to take were very, very poor in the first half. You know, we're taking a lot of sliders and slicers from outside the, you know, where your scoring zone. So that was very, very poor. Our hand passing and when to give a pass and when not to give a pass was a little bit off as well. So, but there are areas that we can improve, and you know, if your focus is right, we'll certainly be a lot better in those areas in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Mayo on the 3 in a row. James Horan not getting carried away there, Kieran.
Yeah.
What's your reading of Connacht this year?
It's a 3rd Connacht title, and never underestimate a provincial title, and it's 3 in a row for Mayo. In terms of the game, I don't think you can read into it too much. For London, this was a fairy tale. Fantastic against Leitrim. Those guys over in London bonding as Irish lads together. They'll have had great times. They'll have made great friends out of this. They might get a run out in Croke Park, but in terms of standard, in terms of what Mayo can take for the game, very, very little. I actually think James Horan was very disappointed at half-time. I think he was just disappointed they just weren't clinical enough and they coughed up a few goal chances. But, you know, as a game, Des, this was always going to be a non-event. It leaves Mayo now possibly going 5 weeks without a really good, tough encounter. They're going into a quarter-final against a team coming off a run of qualifying wins. We know they played Monaghan behind closed doors, and I think there was a bit of skin and hair flying over the last couple of weeks. They probably got more out of that than they did it today. London do deserve credit. They put up a gallant effort. They got 10 points. They had a few goal chances. But in terms of reading into it from a Mayo perspective, I don't think you can take anything from it.
OK, well, let's remind ourselves of those goals. I mean, 5 goals in the provincial final is great, Joe. You wouldn't get carried away at all by beating London by a big margin.
Well, I mean, it's... What do you want me to say, like?
Well, would you get... Well, how do you read the performance?
It's like, you know, I think it's like an amateur rugby team, a good, solid amateur rugby team coming up to play Ulster or Munster or Leinster. You know, look at the players' physiques. You know, I mean, the London boys are... They're training in a different environment. You know, they're doing their best. They've... you know, they're a Division 4 side. It was tremendous, the 2 wins. Sooner or later, they were going to have to come and play a big game like this against a big team. And no doubt, the preamble and all was fun. But, you know, it reminds me of a story of Eamon Burns from Derry who went out to play for Monaghan in New York in 1995. And none of the weekend warriors turned up for the Monaghan team in the New York Championship. But all the cream of Irish talent turned up for Roscommon, you see. And the Monaghan manager, a boy from Emmyfield, gathered them together and he says, lads, you may go out and take your beating and we'll go for a good drink afterwards. And, you know, in fact, they went out and nearly lost by a point, according to Burns. But the point is this, that, you know, you're, as he says, look, it's fun for Luton to get there, and it was great. The couple of victories was great, but you know this is bad, and it's going to be even worse against Cavan.
Yeah, but it must be said, Eamon, they did make goal chances. London had several goal chances.
They did, albeit that I think Mayo were just today were, I won't say lethargic, they were just off the, you know, off the sharpness that's
they were doing all they had to do.
Difficult for them
Yeah.
to maintain.
Very
It is like this one here. We actually had an argument actually on this one. We think that was a legitimate goal actually by Owen O'Neill. The high ball came in. The ball is in the air. He made an honest effort for it. But here they carved open Mayo on a few occasions. You know, good block here by Kafka, who was outstanding all game again today. But you know, it's the chance
that was carving them open.
Well, it was, you know, they created the overlap. A good team, Joe, would finish that. No,
That's
London
where
didn't
Mayo would be
finish it. That's the
disappointed
difference.
that they
they coughed up
chances.
those chances. It's, if you were playing Cork or Kerry, that would have been in the back of the net. You're playing London, you can afford to be that little bit off the mark, and I think that's the difference. Mayo will be disappointed. They kicked 13 wides in the first half, only scored 2-6. James Horn was fuming. You could see him on the line that he was really, really angry. He was animated to get his fellas in at half time. They come out, they performed a bit better. He'll be delighted that the likes of Cillian O'Connor came in, scored 3-3, did extremely well. He'll have his confidence up. But as a fixture, it's, you know, I felt myself became a little bit of a circus, you know, around the whole